hopefully this all is sounding pretty good, right? Somehow that have your all or 3D leadership, adding the depth to the breadth and distance of your life and efforts and career. And we all know that in psychological terms, fear can, for better or worse, actually be a better motivator than hope, right? Those negative threats, those sticks, sometimes actually do work better. And so let me share with you the downside of not living in 3D. Because again, you've seen these, maybe you've experienced them personally or among colleagues or leaders that you've worked with. So if we only have one of the three, it's really nasty, right? So if we're only focused on the me outcomes, that's probably a narcissist or some approaching version thereof. If we're only focused on the we, that's really codependent, right? We're constantly stuck looking to other people, other groups, our boss, our performance review, our family to understand what to do with ourselves. And that's exhausting and not very effective. And if we're only focused on the world, we're probably a martyr, right? We're just like a little bit in the clouds, a little bit burnt out, not really thinking about what is practical or what we need, but we're just chasing a cause, kind of, head in the clouds. So those are not great, really not impactful. And then, if we have two of three, this is a little bit easier to fall into. So if we're thinking about me and we only, this is, sort of a worker bee, sort of a heads down, good worker who really is suffering from a lack of fulfillment, actually, when they pick their head up. Whether that's on their deathbed, or whether that's somewhere in the middle. Maybe that was COVID for a lot of us, right? We were kind of doing our thing to stay healthy enough and to work well and be productive, contributing workers, members of society, but we weren't really thinking about why, to what end, why did that all matter? And so, that lacks depth, right? The world is the depth of what we do, how we spend our time and energy. So only focusing on me and world is where a lot of us end up feeling that lack of fulfillment, that lack of mattering. On the other hand, if we only focus on we and world, the me is left out, and this is a sure path to burnout. Because the we's in your life and the world around us has more than enough problems to call on you for, to help with, right? But if you're not addressing the me, that holistic well-being, physically, emotionally, mentally, this gets unsustainable. And let me tell you, both in the not-for-profit and the social enterprise sector, I have seen plenty of these high-functioning we world focusers who leave out the me dimension, and it does not go well for them or their organizations, right? They lose the upward spiral of the power of this triad of me, we, world. When you drop one of the legs of that stool, it becomes really wobbly and even unsustainable. And finally, there is an interesting blend of me and world. And I know some of these people very intimately, which if you've heard my keynote, you'll know what I'm talking about there. But when you leave out we, you get this really well-intentioned, maybe grounded, healthy individual who is really ineffective because they don't take the time to invest in whatever we would make sense, whether that's an organization, a business, a team, a family, a community, right? They're not investing in those relationships, those structures, which are what are required to scale impact. Yeah, so maybe they're clear, they're grounded, they're, that you have a sense that they're really purposeful, and indeed they have this sense of mattering, of the impact they want to have in the world. But if they're not plugged into the organizational level of that, there's no reach to what they do. And so they end up these really kind of ineffective do-gooders. So 3 legs of the stool, right, is the most stable geometric form. The me and the we and the world are a magic holy trinity of outputs that serve each other, right? And so sometimes we're doing things that actually touch all 3, right? Other times it feels more narrowly in one area. But when I have my morning meditation, a little bit of a workout, whatever that might be, more or less, depending on the day, a solid, healthy, protein packed breakfast, and I've slept, for me, about 8 hours the night before, I am a way better speaker or facilitator or spouse or step parent or dog parent. And I am more conscious of how I move through the world and the choices that I make and the way I interact with strangers. So there's no question to me that that self-care of having a healthy, solid, grounding morning routine absolutely touches all three. And the examples are many, right? When I do the service at a prison near here with women learning about entrepreneurship and controlling their own lives and destiny, that is service. That is a world level thing, right? It's adjacent to my core business, not really related at all. But I come back so inspired by these people, so connected to our common humanity, and with some reminders about the basic principles of entrepreneurship and building a thing, right? So that world investment, that world outcome that I care about these women in incarceration having a productive future absolutely touches and has impact on me and my we outcomes. So that is the magic, the win-win-win, upward spiral, synergy, holy trinity magic that is leading in 3D. I am so glad you're here to learn more about it. Congratulations on joining me, choosing this, and already doing it in many ways that I am sure we are going to actually uncover in the next session, the next few sessions actually, so that you can keep doing what you're doing, but also do more and even get more aligned and dialed into your all.